Altavista Colonel football on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney with my tag team partner Oscar Briggs, and another fantastic new year of high school football. The 2012 campaign is upon us, Oscar, and couldn't have a nicer evening for it. 80 degrees, nice breeze out there.
Beautiful night for football to start off in August, here in August. English Stadium field is in immaculate condition. The Bermuda grass that was put in 3 or 4 years ago is matured now. Great playing condition. Should be a fast track tonight.
It should be, and the Randolph Henry Statesmen are in town. This is one of the usual suspects for Altavista and a lot of the other teams in the Dogwood for that matter. Randolph Henry plays a lot of those guys and normally plays them pretty tight, Oscar.
Both teams coming off of decent seasons last year. Randolph Henry 4-6 in regular season. Lost in the first round of the state playoffs. Of course, as we discussed earlier, as we were talking, getting ready, the expanded state playoffs.
Right.
Altavista went 4-6, was able to make the playoffs, won at Lancaster, and had a very good game against Central Sussex. And actually, were leading at the half, but a very spirited crowd, and the momentum got rolling, and Altavista just couldn't answer, and ended up losing a very hard-fought, close game. So good run last year into the state playoffs for the Colonels.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure as the game goes on tonight and really all year, we'll have plenty of time to recap last year and talk about those kinds of issues. One thing we've got to do before we get started, though, Oscar, is thank our lovely 2012 Altavista football sponsors. We also should say Subway pregame show brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh, of course, locations Main Street and Walmart on Clarion Road. And our other sponsors, First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Apple Market, serving you from 3 Altavista area locations. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving family since 1905. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, voted best Mexican restaurant by their customers. English's, your complete home center, authorized Davis paint dealer. Apple Auto Glass and Mirror, Ford Avenue in Lynchburg. And, of course, Oscar, you know this, but some folks might not. Streaming audio brought to you on kdcountry.com by Walmart. And you can always listen to us there. You can listen to the station 24 hours a day there. And, again, the Subway pregame show. And we'll take a quick break here on the Subway pregame show. Kickoff just ahead after an interview with head coach Mike Sharness on 105.5 KD Country.
It's a brand new season, and the Altavista Colonels kick off against the Randolph Henry Statesmen. Joining us is the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Mike Sharness. Coach, good to be back again this year, and the rumors are out that the Altavista squad is pretty young this season. What's not the state of the union or the state of the state, but what's the state of the Altavista football program?
Yeah, well, first, Dave, just want to thank you for having us on another season, football season. I think it's great in high school football that we can get coverage on the air and radio, and I do appreciate it. I think the kids do and the families all around do in Altavista. Yeah, you are correct. We are young, and we're also in positions on the football field where we have some seniors that don't have much experience. So we're young and inexperienced in some areas, and by that I mean a couple seniors, Cody Andrews and Jacob East, are two kids that played with us early in their high school days, and then have come out and doing a great job. And it's just they don't have much experience with them. Plus the guys that are young are just that, and it's hard to have experience when you're young. So that's going to be the big thing, the thing that we're looking for is how quickly do we mature throughout the year. But we're not worried about the year right now. We're just worried about tonight and the ball game. And we've had some pretty good practices, and we feel like we're ready to play. It's just going to be a matter of that game speed and game pressure, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the first ball game. Whether you're a seasoned team, experienced team, or a young team, there's always that bit of anxiety and uncertainty.
When you talk about a younger lineup, oftentimes it's not only the inexperience, but you give away some size and weight. How does this year's squad shape up?
Well, if we're going to lose every game if we match our rosters against other teams' rosters, height and weight. we'll be undersized against a number of teams, and that's it's not too important. We've got some guys we feel that will hit you. They're physical, and they can run, and that's key for us as far as what we're trying to do on defense, and it's going to fit our offensive scheme too. So, we're small in stature, but we want to be big in heart and fly to the football, be fast, be aggressive defensively, and play with that type of attitude.
And I think your team has shown that over the past years, is that's the way you do play. And sometimes size is not the most important thing. Quickness can be a big asset, too, to your team. How about, is there one particular area that concerns you going into this first game, offense, defense, special teams?
I think not really. And I'm not saying I'm confident in all phases of the game. It's pretty. I've got question marks in the back of my head for every position on the field. And that's, for me, it's just the first ball game. The kicking game is probably number one, where Randolph Henry and ourselves haven't gone live in a ball game yet, and that's sometimes can determine the outcome or how a game will develop. And so I'm more concerned with that special teams, and usually am first game.
I can understand, because there's a lot of responsibilities coming down the field on the kickoff and covering punts and all that sort of thing. How about those Randolph Henry Statesmen? You've played them several years now and have, I think, a winning record against them over the years, but this is a brand new season. What is your scouting telling you about Randolph Henry?
With us opening against them, we've been able to see them in scrimmages and vice versa. They've seen us. So you don't get a real good picture exactly what they're going to bring on the field, because you haven't seen them in game situation. But they look similar to Randolph Henry teams in regard to the type of athletes they have up there, the size. They look very, very similar to what we've seen. They're pretty good size up front, and they've got good athletes that can make plays. They're going to be very similar. They're very similar to us in that they run the spread and they run their 3-5. Offensively and defensively, they're pretty much the same schemes as we are. We run a lot of the same stuff. So I think both teams are familiar with each other from that standpoint. But we've got, we're ready to go, and the coaches are ready to go, kids are ready to go, and we're anxious to get the season started for football.
Terrific. The head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Mike Sharness, joining us on the pregame show. And we'll be back with more of tonight's game on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here on 105.5 KD Country, I'm Kyle Haney. Oscar Briggs beside me, and Oscar just about ready for kickoffs. We got a few other preliminaries we need to clean up. First and foremost, probably being the starting lineups.
We can do that, and then we'll start.
Oh, did I catch you off guard? Did you want me to do it?
No, I'm good. We'll start with Randolph Henry, their offense. Starting as a freshman, number 1, Joseph Reed is a 6 foot, 186 pound. Again, he's a freshman. They've got high expectations for him. Number 8, Aaron Brinkley, a 6 foot, 151 wide receiver. He is a junior. Number 10, DeJour Davis, a 5'10 wide receiver, 150 pounds. He's a freshman. Damian Dixon, a freshman wide receiver, 5'3", 133 pounds. At running back, number 30, Rocky Hurt, a 5'8", 162-pound junior. At running back, number 42, DJ Cook, 5'8", 173-pound. He's a junior as well. On the offensive line, number 50, Nick DeJarnette. He's 5'9", 260. He's a junior. Number 55, Antoine Davis, 5'9", 190. He's a senior. Number 60, Connor Morris, a 6 foot, 211-pound senior. Number 70, Tyler Gill, 5'8", 190-pound senior. And number 71, Jackson Knott, a 6'1", 303-pound senior. Randolph Henry is coached by head coach Joe Freeland, assisted by Todd Abel and Chris Roberts. The theme with Randolph Henry, a lot of experience on the line, skill positions, very, very young.
Right, and it's, a little bit of what Altavista's got going on. I'll tell you the thing that sticks out for me, Oscar, is Rocky Hurt. at running back. Is there a better name for a running back slash linebacker slash boxer?
That might be. We'll have to keep track this year as we go through and pick up some football names, but that might be one of the better. That'll certainly be a starter on the top 11
on the top
positions.
11 name team. Yeah, absolutely. For the Colonels, we touched on it a little bit, but a lot of youth their way as well.
Yeah, a lot of youth, and I'm just going to, before I read the roster on that, I'm going to go down and read some names that aren't here. This is who the Colonels are replacing: Ricky Adams, Delvin Woodruff, Gerard Hunt, Daquan Duncan, Justin Brown, Mike Spittle, Donald Wallace, Darian Wimbush, Dustin Arnold, Haji Farrakhan, and Denton Mundy. So that puts the Colonels in a very, very young position as well. A lot of learning going on here in the first couple of games for the Colonels. With that, we'll go to the starters. On offense, number 1, Dimitri Malbec. He's a 130-pound sophomore, and he will be at wide receiver. Claudel Moon, familiar name, will be at running back, 5'7", 156-pound sophomore. Jacob East will be a wide receiver, 5'10", 143 pounds. He's a senior. Demetrius Johnson, number 6, 6'2", 180. He'll be a wide out as well. In the backfield, number 7, Destin Brown, 5'11", 175-pound running back. At quarterback, Juan Thornhill, wearing number 11, 6'1", 160, and he's a sophomore. Also at wide receiver, as Colonels look like they're going to go into a spread early tonight, Tim Brown, number 21, 6 foot, 170-pound, wide out. Again, he's a junior. Dante Poindexter will be on the offensive line, 5'8", 208-pound freshman. Clay Teagarden, number 72, on the offensive line, 6 feet, 225-pound junior. Casey McLeese, number 73, a 6 foot, 230-pound offensive lineman. He's a junior. William Martin, 5'10", 263-pound senior. And Alex Thurman, wearing number 79, a 5'11", 195-pound freshman. Alta Vista is coached by Mike Sharness, assisted by Dave Close, Cliff Lee, Mike Rivas, and a host of others.
We'll get to them as the night goes along. But, definitely a lot of youth on both sides of the ball for both teams. Just 6 seniors for Alta Vista, 6 for Randolph Henry. But they're about ready to lock it up here, and we'll take one more quick timeout and come back with the kickoff. Alta Vista Colonel football on KD Country. Back here on 105.5 KD Country, high school sports, Alta Vista Colonel football, and 50 years of high school sports on WKD, Oscar. That's pretty impressive.
That's I'm only 3 years older than that, so that is impressive.
You didn't have to say that. You could have kept those cards hidden. You didn't have to reveal that. No, it really, it seems like WKDE, Alta Vista Sports, really an institution. They kind of go hand in hand, and I can remember back in the day when it was Mr. Ron Campbell and Reverend Fife and all those guys, Mark Slusher and Dave Haney.
Chester Brockwell did some basketball.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. No. I'm sure there's guys even before them. We need to sit down and do the research and really dive into that one day. But we've got a opening season football game to get to, Oscar. Both teams 0-0, and there's nothing like having that excitement of coming into a brand new season.
And as Alta Vista tradition, they started several years ago, they come in to enter Sandman with the fog machine and spirit line, and pretty good turnout tonight. 400 or 500 people here on the Alta Vista side, and if you throw in the 12 from Randolph Henry, it's not a bad crowd tonight.
No, it's not a bad crowd at all. You're right. Still plenty of good seats on the Randolph Henry side, but the Alta Vista side is filling up pretty quick. And let's be honest, this has always been a town that gets behind their teams, and why would we expect anything less tonight? Again, I can't stress enough. Beautiful night out there. You couldn't really ask for a much better night for an August football game. Sometimes these August games, it's still 90 at kickoff, and that's rough, but not tonight.
Well, and that's true. And then, there are some other things going on in the community tonight that may be pulling some people that ordinarily would be here. But teams are on the field getting ready for the kickoff. And the Statesman will be receiving the ball first.
Yeah, Statesman going to get the football first. Alta Vista lining up to kick. And I believe that is number 89, Walker Allen, putting the ball on the tee. He's got the other 10 guys huddled behind him. Oscar mentioned it, field in great shape. Got the A in the middle. And Colonels in their home black uniforms, black pants. Most of the guys have orange socks, black cleats. Randolph Henry road white jerseys, blue helmets, blue pants, blue socks. Altavista, of course, with the black helmet, orange and white A on it there. And we're just about set. Allen has the ball teed up. He checks with the guys on the kickoff team, and here we go. Kick is kind of a low line drive right down the middle. It's going to be fielded by Randolph Henry on their own 5. Going right up the gut, it's number 1, Joseph Reed. Shakes off an initial tackle, and he's brought down by a host of Colonel defenders. Not a bad return, though. Got it to about the 23.5 yard line.
No, and it's interesting that the Statesmen have their quarterback as their deep back on the kickoff. So freshman Reed, and be interesting to see which defense the Colonels come out in.
Yeah, Colonels in the past years have done some different things, and you mentioned having Reed back there, and everything we've heard advertised about Reed is he's just a freshman, but he's a great athlete, can run, can throw. He can obviously run if you're going to put him back there at the kick returner. He's in a shotgun formation here, ready to take the direct snap. Man in motion is a slot back, gives it to the tailback. Stopped for just about no gain there. The handoff was to number 42, DJ Cook.
Nice stop by Cody Andrews as he was able to get stop and block the hole. Only a gain of 2, and good first defensive play for the Colonels.
Yeah, it really was. Altavista didn't give Cook much room at all. You got to give Cook a lot of credit really for getting that gain because there wasn't a lot to work with. Shotgun formation again, 2 receivers on each side. Reed takes the direct snap, gives to Cook again. No, he kept it himself. Followed that pulling guard, and again, didn't get much at all. Oscar may have even lost one.
Ty Wolfick, Timron Brown, and a couple of other Colonels in on that play. And nice ball handling skills by Reed on that play as he fooled both of us.
He really did. It was a nice play fake. Third down set to come. 0-0 the score. 10:50 remaining in the first quarter here at English Stadium in Altavista. Home opener for the Altavista Colonels. Opener for everybody tonight. We'll talk about some more games as we get going. Empty backfield now for Reed in the shotgun. He's got a slot man in motion again. He's going to go left side with the keeper. Thought about a pitch maybe, but he stopped, brought down well short of the first down marker. He may have gained about a yard, but that'll bring up 4th and a long 5. Oscar.
And Randolph Henry very conservative on the play calling in the first three calls. Colonel set up in a 3-4, sometimes stacking a 5th person up in that box as a linebacker. So good defensive stand for the Colonels.
Yeah, it looked like it was designed as an option with that slot guy coming in motion to the left there, but Reed was keeping it the whole time. Number 22, Thurston Pate, is back deep in the punt formation. Statesmen look to be kicking it away here, 4th and 6. There's a snap. It's decent. He's got plenty of time, and the kick is up. High spiral. Fair catch is called for at the 45-yard line by number 1, Dimitri Milbeck. And the Colonels will take over on their own 44-yard line. First and 10, Colonels score 0-0. Just underway. A nice 3-and-out stop there by the Altavista defense to get the ball back.
And, of course, at this level, single-A ball, you see a lot of these kids are going to be going both ways. And the Colonels are starting with that spread offense that we thought that they may do that.
Yeah, they've got 3 wide receivers and a tight end. Juan Thornhill behind center. Excuse me, they got 4 wide receivers. They had trips to this right side here. Handoff up the middle. Got about 5 before he was stopped.
Number 2, Clydell Moon on the carry.
It was Clydell Moon on the carry, Oscar.
And Clydell will be probably the workhorse for the Colonels in tonight's game. He's got the most experience at running back. Looking for a replacement for Justin Brown.
Yeah, Colonels have got to replace a lot of guys who aren't easy to replace, that's for sure. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right here. Tailback is on the right as well. Snap goes to Thornhill. He swings it outside. The pass is complete to Molbeck. He's got a lot of room. He went right side. Now he cuts it back. He's on the 20. He's on the 15. He's on the 10. He's got a guy to beat to the goal line. And he looked like he got in. Touchdown, Colonels.
Boy, what a nicely designed little flare screen out to the wide receiver. Had a couple blocks, got past the initial defenders, and was able to weave his way to the end zone.
Yeah, exciting play right there. Thornhill just kicked it out on a little screen pass to Malbeck. And he initially started up the right side, and like you said, Oscar, got some great blocks, and then he cut it back, and that was really all he needed. Fans here at English Stadium excited. 6 points for the Colonels. They lead 6-0. Extra point pending here. Walker Allen on to kick. Thornhill will hold. Extra point team set. There's the snap. It's good. Kick is up. And that looks to be good as well. Colonels take a 7-0 lead. Just under 9 minutes here to go in Altavista. We'll take a break right now with the score 7-0 Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. 7-0 Colonels take an early lead. Oscar couldn't ask for a much better start to the season. You get a 3 and out from your defense and then 2 plays and you already got 7.
2 plays, 56 yards, took off 1:07 off the clock. Like you said, you couldn't ask for a better start. Nice screen play from Thornhill to Malbeck.
Yeah, 51, 52-yard scoring play there. Walker Allen on the kickoff, and this is mishandled by Randolph Henry. It goes in the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. Randolph Henry probably actually fortunate it did go in the end zone because it got tipped away, and it could have been a lot worse than that, so they'll start on the 20. The kick from Walker was a really good one. It was a long, booming kind of line drive, and the Randolph Henry return man misplayed it there off of his fingertips, Oscar, and if that ball stops, inside the 5, you get some real problems.
Well, that's right, and Walker's he's a freshman. Walker Allen being a freshman, replacing Sam Whiteside, who made it through most of the season last year before he returned back to England. So
Randolph Henry set the scrimmage again from their own 20. There's a shotgun snap to Reed. And the give was to DJ Cook again up the middle. He got about a yard or so. Altavista defense stingy so far.
Once again, Destin Brown out on the field and was able to plug that gap, grabbed him low, and stopped him for a little bit less than a yard.
Yeah, I think if you're a high school football coach or really any coach at any level, I think that's how you dream of the season starting, a 3 and out, and then you score in 2 plays. Still got a long way to go, though, here in this one. Colonels lead 7-0, 8:19 to go in the first quarter. Man in motion is number 30. That's Rocky Hurt. Hurt's going to get hit in the backfield. He tried to make it back to the line of scrimmage, but he could not. First man on the scene there looked like Jacob East from Altavista.
Jacob East, and then Brendan Patrick was there as well.
Yeah, really great job by Altavista's defense to close in on that. That was the old jet sweep there where you put the wide receiver in motion and hand it to him. But they couldn't get much out of it. It's going to be 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 here for Randolph Henry.
And it looks like they might be trying to open it up a little bit. It might be interesting to see if they'll throw the ball this time.
That remains to be seen. 4 wide receivers, 3 of them here on this left side. Reed rolls out to his left. He's going to tuck it. Now he's going to bring it back up and throw again. Wow, and he made a great pass to get it to number 10, DeJure Davis, but Davis could not hold on. Really a heads-up play there by Reed. He did everything he could. Davis just could not hold on to the football.
Yeah, Davis had, he was on a little seam. He still would have had to gain 4 yards, right. And there were 2 or 3 defenders there. It would have been difficult to get the first down. So nice defense by the Colonels and another 3 and out. Coach Sharness has got to be pleased so far.
Oh, absolutely. Great defensive job there by Altavista. I think particularly that defensive line for the Colonels is making it real tough for Randolph Henry to get anything going. 4th and 10, Randolph Henry in the punt formation. There's a snap. They cannot get it off. It's blocked. We do have a flag down. It looked like it was number 10, Darius Johnson, who made the block, Oscar, although Altavista really had 2 or 3 guys in that backfield before the kick.
The flag on the field, you hate to speculate, but it looks like it was a hold.
It was in that general area that the hold comes from a lot, and they are talking to an Altavista player here, so that generally means that it's going to be on Randolph Henry. If it is, you got to assume Altavista is going to decline, and they'll take over. They're going to take over on the Randolph Henry. What is it, about the 13-yard line, Oscar? 14-yard line. It will be Altavista Colonel football. Great job on the block punt there.
Yeah, the punter couldn't really get a good hold on the ball, and he's got a little bit of a long 5-step punt process anyway, and he just wasn't able to get it off.
Yeah, and you know, if you're Altavista and Coach Sharness, really a great time to bring some pressure right there. You're already up 7-0. Why not go after the punt? And they did with great success there. They take over on the 14-yard line. Shotgun formation again. 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 backs in the backfield with the quarterback, Thornhill. There's the handoff to number 2, Clydell Moon, and he gained some yards up the right side there. He initially looked to take it off tackle, then he bounced it outside a little bit, and it's a nice, about a 7-yard gain, Oscar.
And, you know, Clydell he was able to drag a couple of Randolph Henry's defenders with him, and, you know, they're in a 3-5. And they're trying to stack a couple extra people in the box with a corner, too, being this close to goal line. 7-0 Colonels lead.
I formation now for the Colonels. First time either team's been under center so far. Thornhill takes the snap. He gives it to the fullback. That's Destin Brown. Brown is close to the end zone. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Another touchdown for the Altavista Colonels. That makes it 13-0, 6:39 to go. It was Destin Brown. Gave it to the first man through. That was the fullback, and Brown did the rest. He had some nice blocking there on the left side and took it to pay dirt. 2 quick scores here in the first quarter for Altavista. Extra point on the way right now. Walker Allen to kick again. There's the long snap to Thornhill. Allen kicks it up and looks like he splits the uprights again. Yes, he does. 14-0 Colonels lead. 6:39 to go in the first quarter. We'll take another timeout. Bring it right back with a kickoff. Colonels up 14-0 on 105.5 KD Country. Colonels lead 14-0 here early. Oscar Briggs in the Altavista area Apple Market first quarter. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not. First quarter sponsored by Apple Market. 3 great locations there in Altavista, and this keeps up, we may be getting the Apple Market a little early tonight.
That's right. In 2 plays, 57 seconds, 14-yard drive. Colonels have had the ball for 2 minutes and 4 seconds with 14 points.
Kickoff there by Walker Allen. It's fielded by number 20. Excuse me, I believe that's number 30, Rocky Hurt. He took it up the left hash mark there and got a nice return out of it. Got it back to the 30.5-yard line, if you will, Oscar. That's where Randolph Henry will take over. They trail 14-0, not the start that Coach Freeland had envisioned on his side.
I'm sure he didn't. We were able to watch the WSET piece on Randolph Henry and had high expectations for the Statesman, and long way to go in this football game, so things can certainly turn.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think this is a key drive for Randolph Henry. They've got to move the ball and at least get it on the Altavista side of the field.
I agree with you there. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on each side. Slot guy in motion again is Hurt. Reed takes it out right side. Thought about giving it to Hurt. Now he cuts back. He's being chased down by a bunch of Altavista defenders. He did a nice job. He's only going to lose about 2 yards, but it could have been a lot worse. He was about 7 yards deep there for a while, Oscar.
Cody Andrews actually had him stopped for about a 5-6 yard loss and was unable to contain him. Nice job by Reed and being able to move his hips and get shake Andrews off of him and turned a 7-yard loss into just a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, you know, Randolph Henry hasn't had much success on offense yet, but you can tell what some of that hype was about with Reed. He's shifty back there, and he does a nice job running the quarterback spot. Randolph Henry, 2nd and 11 now. They're in shotgun formation again. Reed's got a tailback to his right. Man in motion again. Reed's going to keep it himself. He's going to go around pulling guard, left sideline over there to the Altavista sideline, and he gained about 6, and probably one of Randolph Henry's best offensive plays so far.
That absolutely is their longest run yet to date. Nice job by Brown on being able on the tackle.
Yeah, the other thing this does is it puts Randolph Henry in a manageable 3rd down. Before, their 3rd downs were 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9. Now they've got about a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. And Altavista's defense may be facing its first real test of the night so far. If Altavista can get another 3 and out here, that would mean big things, Oscar. Trips to the left. Reed's going to look right. He's going to throw a little slant formation. It got to the receiver. That was number 8, Aaron Brinkley. But Brinkley was just covered so tightly by Altavista. The 2 Colonel defenders there that couldn't pull it in.
And really, nice throw by Reed, right on the money, right on the numbers, right at the shoulder pads, and just too many Altavista defenders there. He wasn't able to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, you really got to give the Colonels all the credit there on that one. It was a well-designed play, but Altavista just had men there. Thornhill was in on that. I don't know who the other one was on that side, but nice defensive stop again for Altavista. Another 3 and out. Randolph Henry going to punt again. The last one was blocked. Let's see if the Colonels come after it. Snap goes back. Altavista brought a little bit of pressure, but not as much as before. This is a short punt, not going anywhere. Randolph Henry does a good job to field it before it gives Altavista even better field position. It landed on about the 50 and took a good bounce for Altavista. They're going to start on the Randolph Henry 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Colonels, 4:30 to go in the Apple Market first quarter here, Oscar. Altavista leads 14-0.
Only a 12-yard punt, and I'm sure, again, that's not exactly what Coach Freeland was looking for.
No, and again, it's a lot of times when you get down early, it's turnovers, but Randolph Henry isn't having that problem. They just can't gain yards, and well, they can't stop the Colonels here. Thornhill to pass. He looked quick to the slot, and then he's going to pull it down and keep it himself. He's got some room on the right side. Got a flag down. This may be coming back. He tiptoed the sideline for about 10 yards. It would go as about a 20 to 21-yard gain, I would say, Oscar, but the flag looks like it's going to go against the Colonels.
They're certainly walking back, and it was out on this side. I didn't see anything on the Colonel's side. From as far as a blocking perspective, but he is certainly talking to Randolph Henry. It looks like it's going to go against the Colonels.
Yeah, it was really a nice play. Thornhill was in the shotgun again. He looked initially in the slot to Timron Brown, kind of running that same kind of pattern that they scored on earlier, just a little quick screen, a little quick swing pass to the slot guy, and then Thornhill decided to pull it down and keep it himself, and you know what kind of athlete Juan is. When he decides to go, it goes from first gear to fifth gear pretty quick.
It's going to bring up a 1st and 12.
He'll bring it back, though, with the penalty. 1st and 12 now for Altavista. It's on the 49-yard line. 4:18 to go, 14-0. Colonels lead. It's been all Colonels so far, early. In fact, that's the only offensive play they've run that's lost yards there, Oscar, and that was because of a penalty. 2 receivers on each side. Back was to the right. Thornhill's going to try the same play. He's going to keep it again. It looks like the exact same play. He's going right sideline, cuts it back, stays on his feet. He shrugs off a tackle, shrugs off another, and what a nice gain right there for Juan Thornhill. A 39-yard gain, took it up the right sideline, and really did a lot of that himself. Not to say he didn't have some good blocking, but
we were able to see Juan's athleticism last year on the football field, and you did a lot of basketball games. There was a huge hole on the right side, but Randolph Henry, about 15 yards downfield, was able to start to make contact with him, but they couldn't corral him. Nice balance, nice power showed by Juan on that run.
Yeah, Juan really turned a good gain into a great gain right there. Got it down to the Altavista 10-yard line. Trips to his left, running back is to his right. Shotgun snap, he throws a quick out pass again. Altavista's going to score. It's Demetrius Johnson on the touchdown reception.
Touchdown, Colonels.
Colonels go into the end zone again. 20-0. Altavista leads. It was Thornhill to Demetrius Johnson. Just a quick little out pass right there. Randolph Henry, no answer early. 3:33 to go in the first quarter, and we're going to get used to seeing Walker Allen here, Oscar.
Yeah, and Walker in warm-ups was very consistent on his extra point kicks.
Well, this is a kicker's dream right here. Kick the extra point and then kick it off again. Snap back, kick up. This one was a little low, maybe even caught a piece there, but Walker drove it through the uprights. He's 3 for 3. Colonels are 3 for 3 when they touch the football. They lead 21-0. We'll take a quick timeout here on 105.5 KD Country. 21-0 is the score here from Altavista High School. Colonels on top over the Randolph Henry Statesmen. Early here. We've still got time in the first quarter, Oscar. The Apple Market first quarter.
Another 3-play, 50-yard drive. 57 seconds.
Yeah, it's efficiency is a good word to describe what Altavista is doing on offense. They're scoring a lot. They're not taking much time to do it. Kick goes from Walker Allen. It's to Rocky Hurt again on the return. Hurt didn't have much in the way of blocking, and he was met there by number 5, Jacob Hawkins, number 6, Demetrius Johnson, the man that just scored.
And you know, we have the opportunity to see Demetrius on in the basketball court. He is a physical specimen at 6'2" and 190. He's some kind of athlete as well.
He is, and he moves a little bit quicker than a guy that should be 6'2", 190 does. Great stop right there. He just scored on the hookup from Thornhill. Thornhill has thrown 2 touchdown passes so far tonight here, Oscar. And Altavista's defense, oh, by the way, they're not shabby either. They haven't allowed a first down so far. Randolph Henry's going to try again. Shotgun formation again. It's Reed to take the snap. Fakes the handoff, goes the other way. He's going to get pulled down in the backfield. Brendan Patrick with the sack right there, and that is a big loss for Randolph Henry. Great play by Brendan Patrick.
Boy, and Brendan was we started to see Brendan last year come out of his shell and be a force on defense, and he's picking right up where he left off.
Yeah, great play right there. He was it wasn't that he was unblocked. I think he just powered right through the block, and he got to Reed just as Reed turned around. Reed kind of did a spin there on the fake, and all of a sudden there was Brendan Patrick, and Patrick was not letting him go loose. Sets up about a 2nd and 20 for Randolph Henry.
Colonels continue to lead 21-0.
Reed back to pass. He's got some time. He throws. It's low, incomplete. Couldn't find his intended target. Looked like that was Aaron Brinkley. Good defense by the Colonels.
And again, a relatively conservative play. The receiver wasn't but 4 or 5 yards downfield.
Yeah, I think right now Randolph Henry's just looking to gain some positive yards, and maybe you break a tackle here or there. Clydell Moon was in the area.
And Reed was a little bit rushed on that. The receiver was a little bit open, so
yeah,
he may be pressing right now as a freshman.
Well, I think so. I mean, as a freshman, you know, it's hard to simulate this kind of intensity getting in there, and then all of a sudden you go down 21-0. It doesn't make it any easier. 3rd and long for the Statesman. Reed's going to roll out left. He had 3 receivers there. He's under pressure. This may be a safety for the Colonels. Let's see where they give him forward progress. It looks like they're going to spot it on about the half-yard line, Oscar, but there was a host of Colonels in there. This time I think it was Darius Johnson leading the charge.
Boy, he stepped up in the pocket, and there was absolutely nowhere for him to go. He had Johnson in his face.
Yeah, and more Colonels to follow, too. Nice play there by Johnson.
And Reed at 6 feet and Johnson at 6'2", possibly 6'3".
Right, right. Well, I think you got to give Reed a little bit of credit just for hanging on to the football there, the way he was met by Johnson. Randolph Henry will punt again. It's 4th and real long, 4th and 29. They're back on their own half-yard line. You're going to get a timeout here from the Statesman. We'll take it as well. Colonels lead 21-0. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter here on 105.5 KD Country. 21-0. Alta Vista leads. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the Apple Market first quarter. 105.5 KD Country. Or online at kdcountry.com. That's brought to you by Walmart. You can get there off our Facebook page. And speaking of the internet, Oscar, we're planning on having the games posted on YouTube after the fact if you'd want to dip into the archives. That's brought to you by Fellers Chevrolet.
And that's a new feature for us this year.
That is a new feature. Maybe we'll get better because of that. We can go on there and listen and critique things. I don't know. That might be painful.
Yeah, I've got all the criticism I need, I think.
Yeah, a little bit goes a long way in the criticism category. Can't criticize anything the Colonels have done so far here tonight, though. Randolph Henry, 4th and long. They're going to attempt to punt from about their own half-yard line. See if Alta Vista brings pressure again. You're going to get offside on Randolph Henry. It doesn't matter. It's only going to move it back half the distance, which from here is probably not even a foot.
And that actually saved them. That saved them 2 points because the punter had his foot on the back line, and the back judge just told him.
Right.
He said if that wouldn't have happened, you'd have got a safety.
Right.
So he just advised the punter to watch his back foot.
See if it could possibly be a good omen here for Randolph Henry. It'd be good for them just to get this ball away because I think Alta Vista is going to bring some pressure. He did step out of the back of the end zone, Oscar. He stepped out. It's going to be a safety. 2 more points for the Alta Vista Colonels. And wow, again, everything going right here so far for Alta Vista. The snap didn't look to be particularly bad.
No, I don't know. The kicking game has not gone well for Randolph Henry,
No.
and the play before that, like when the penalty was called, he was lined up with his foot on the line. He got a warning from the back judge, and I think nerves again with the block punt just played a factor.
Yeah, I think so, and it's one of those things where if you're a coach and you get in a 4th and 5 or a 4th and 6, you might be able to go for it, but you can't go for it 4th and 30 from your own half-yard line. So bad situation there for Randolph Henry. Turns into 2 more points for the Altavista Colonels. They lead 23-0. We'll keep it here as Randolph Henry will have the free kick upcoming from the 20. After the safety, you get the option to either punt it or kick it. And I don't know, most guys punt it like in the NFL and college, Oscar. I don't see it a whole lot in high school.
And they're bringing the tee out, and
Okay.
I'm sure that with the way the punting game has gone so
good
far,
point, yeah.
for them, that's the better of 2 evils right now.
Randolph Henry will kick away from their own 20. This is following the safety. 2:06 to go here in the Apple Market first quarter. Colonels lead 23-0. It's been all Altavista, and they got a chance to do some more damage here on the kick return. Kick is fielded on about the 40 by Dimitri Malbach. Malbach goes up the middle. He runs into one of his own guys, but he keeps on trucking. He shrugs off some Randolph Henry defenders as well. He's got 2 guys to beat, and he does beat him. Touchdown, Colonels. It's Malbach after the free kick, after the safety. So Colonels, it's an 8-point swing just like that, Oscar, and the way Walker Allen has looked on the extra points, it looks to be 9 just in a matter of seconds here. Colonels up 29-0 early.
55-yard return, 60-yard return for Malbach, and he ran into his own player a couple times, and
Yeah.
we didn't think we thought he was going to be brought down, but too much speed. Once he gets in the open, Demetrius has got some kind of speed.
Yeah, Malbach fielded that on about the 40, just in between, right hash mark and right sideline, and he cut it back up the middle, ran into a couple of his own players, and honestly, that might have been Randolph Henry's best chance to bring him down because he was gone after that. Allen on the kick, extra point. It's up. It's good. He's 4 for 4 tonight, and really Altavista can do no wrong.
And that was a great hold by Juan. Ball was squid back to him. He picked it up, was able to get into position. 30-0 Colonels.
Everything clicking right now early for the Colonels. We'll take another timeout. Altavista leads 30-0 on WKDE. Opening night here in Altavista. Colonels versus the Statesmen from Randolph Henry, and you couldn't ask for a better home opener, a better opening game so far, Oscar.
All Colonels so far, between Juan Thornhill and Demetrius Malbach. Boy, the youth has looked good tonight for the Colonels.
Absolutely. Just six seniors, 6 juniors, but Altavista's not letting that slow them down a bit. 30-0. They lead here. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Apple Market first quarter. And Walker Allen set to kick again. His leg's going to get tired at this rate, but another nice one here. Low line drive. It's fielded by Reed on about the 7. Reed's going to go up the middle. He's got some room here. He's going to go right side. He's got some more room out there. This is a good-looking return for Randolph Henry. He beat Allen, and now he might go to the house. Let's see if anybody from Altavista can run him down. They cannot. 10-5 touchdown, Statesman. Joseph Reed on the return. Got it on about the 7, took it up the middle, then took it right side. And boy, it looked like he had some room there on the right side, Oscar, and he did.
Yeah, he did, and Walker Allen was really the last person had a chance at him. He grabbed at him and was unable to bring him down, and 93-yard kickoff return.
Yeah,
Randolph Henry's on the board.
Randolph Henry is on the board, and for the Statesmen, that's good. They're still showing some fight in this football game. We still got a long time to go, and you know as well as I do, Oscar, stranger things have happened. Altavista will come out here to defend the 2-point try for Randolph Henry. It looks like they're going to go for 2. See most of those offensive personnel out. No, the tee is down. He's going to kick. You got to remember, it's early in the season for me, too. You could have jumped in there at any point and said he's going to kick.
And quite honestly, I was looking, and I can't see the tee from here. So.
Yeah. Well, they're in a kicking formation. No guarantee that they're going to kick. Looks like Thurston Pate is the kicker. Snap goes back. We had some movement early. I believe it was on the Randolph Henry side. Snap was good. Hold was good. The holder is number 8, Aaron Brinkley. And they're actually going to say it was on Altavista.
Demetri Malbec jumped off. And
Yeah.
Second penalty for the Colonels.
Yeah, and maybe that's one thing that hasn't really maybe been up to Coach Sharness' standards. Here's the extra point again. Snap is back. Pate kick is up, and it looks to be good right down the middle. That makes it 30-7. Randolph Henry is on the board. It's all happening fast and furious here. 37 points early, Oscar, and we still got a minute 40 to go in the quarter.
Ordinarily, I'm able to start getting some first quarter stats about now, but I dare not start totaling for either team the way that this is going so far.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and all the timeouts making our producer, Eleanor Haney, work overtime. So we'll keep it here on this one. We've got plenty of items that we can discuss anyway, but you know, it's high school football. Anything can happen, and you know, like I said, if you're a Randolph Henry fan, gotta like running the kickback there. It doesn't take much time off the clock, so that helps your comeback effort.
Well, that's right, and like you said, it's anything can happen in high school football. The Colonels have looked dominant so far, but you don't know what kind of with the youth that Altavista's got, what kind of effect that would have, that return would have on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Reed took it 83 yards there on the kickoff return. He had some nice blocks, and Reed, just a freshman, he's got plenty of speed, so you can bet that teams in the James River District are not going to like seeing him for the next 4 years. And all the teams that Randolph Henry plays in the Dogwood as well, including Altavista. Squib kick there from Randolph Henry. It's mishandled by Altavista. They still haven't fielded it, and Clydell Moon is going to fall on it there. It was initially touched on about the 35. Moon falls on the 21, and he even misplayed it there for a second. Nice job just to fall on it and maintain possession for the Colonels.
Yeah, far and away the worst field possession the Colonels have had all night.
Well, going to start on their own 21. Minute 34 to go. They lead 30-7, and based on based on past results from the offense this game, I don't know that field position is that important with the way they're racking up yards, but we'll see. Shotgun formation. Thornhill's ready to take the direct snap. He's got Moon to his right. He's got 4 receivers split out. 3 of those are to his right. Shotgun snap is a good one. He's just going to kick it out to Moon on a little shovel handoff. Moon gets past the line of scrimmage on the right hash mark there, and he got about 2 or 3.
Gain of 2 yards, second and 8 for the Colonels.
Going to bring up 2nd and 8 for Altavista. Again, they lead 30-7. They scored 30 in a big hurry, and then Randolph Henry scored their 7 in a big hurry on a kickoff return touchdown from Joseph Reed.
And that was just a little sweep play, that little pitch to the running back. We saw that a lot last year with Brown and Rick Adams.
Thornhill going to take the snap, right hash mark. He looks left, throws right. He's got the nice pass to Malbec. He just kind of dumped that over the Randolph Henry linebackers. Really a savvy play right there from Thornhill, and a nice catch and run from Malbec. Big gain there.
Gain of 20, and Juan's 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, really a mature play there from Thornhill. You know, he looked left. I think the first read was to the left there. Didn't like what he saw. And Malbec is just kind of wide open running down that right hash mark there, and he kind of threw him the changeup, too.
Really good job of Malbec finding a seam on that play.
Absolutely. 4 wide receivers. Thornhill looking left again. He goes left, and this time it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Demetrius Johnson, so effectively we've jinxed him there. We said he was 3 for 3 passing. He's now 3 for 4. Not too shabby anyway. It was the just a little quick outlet pass there is what they were looking for, and Thornhill just threw it a little bit too high. Good coverage from Randolph Henry.
And if it was too tall for Demetrius, it was too tall.
Yeah. 4 wide receivers again. Altavista 2nd and 10 from about the 45. Shotgun snap is a good one. Handoff goes to Moon. Moon fights his way inside. Had to hold on to that football there. Randolph Henry was looking to strip it. And he got himself about 2 yards again. Maybe a yard.
Gain of about a yard. Brings up 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9. Clock running down here in the first quarter. Altavista's going to let it run out. Players have got their helmets off. That'll end a exciting opening first quarter of the season, Oscar. Colonels on top, 30-7. We'll take a timeout and come back with the second quarter on 105.5 KD Country. Second quarter about to get underway here from English Stadium in Altavista. Colonels lead 30-7 over Randolph Henry. Opening game of the season. Altavista's got a 3rd and 8 here from their own 44-yard line. 46-yard line, excuse me. Swing pass again. Thornhill's got Malback, and Malback's got room to the left side. He shrugs off one tackler. Nice block there from Markel Payne to get him a few extra yards. He's got the first down and a couple extra to spare. Again, great play from Altavista. It's really a variation or even the same play that they've been running. Thornhill just swings it out quickly to one of those slot receivers. They're off to the races, Oscar.
Well, and some quick stats from that first quarter. Altavista had 60 yards on the ground, 3 for 4 for 187 total in the air, total 147. Randolph 7 yards minus in the category rushing, no completed passes.
First down here for Altavista. Give us to Moon. Moon got a few yards again up the middle. He's really been a workhorse in that regard. He's running the ball up the middle a lot, and he seems to get about 2 or 3 every time. Good first down play there for Altavista.
2 yards.
And again, good mixing up of the plays with the Colonels, equal number of passes and rushes.
Yeah, it really has been very nice balance for Altavista offensively, getting it to a lot of different guys. A lot of different guys are making plays. A good mix between the pass and the run, like you said. 3 receivers, one of them split off the wing here to the right. Thornhill's got Moon in the backfield to his right. He'll kick it out to Moon again on that little shovel sweep. Got a flag in the backfield. Moon's going to get about 6 or 7 yards. Going to get it close to the first down, but not quite there. Let's see what the flag is. Again, it's in kind of that area that holding usually comes, or a face mask, blocking the back, that sort of thing, but we'll wait and see. Another good offensive play there for Altavista, and really, again, Oscar, the only times they've lost yards is when they've incurred a penalty.
And that's another holding penalty on the Colonels.
And, earlier I think I said Coach Sharness, that was one of the things he wouldn't like, but it is the first game here. I mean, I think he's been around long enough to know that you're going to get some penalties here early, and this one will take Altavista way back.
That was a spot foul. And
yeah, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. But the foul must have happened 4 or 5 yards deep, because this makes it 2nd and 20 for Altavista. Shotgun formation. Thornhill fakes the handoff. Now he rolls left. Throws left. He's got number 7. That's Destin Brown. Brown's got a lot of room left side. He won't get quite back to that first down. He did get back to the original line of scrimmage, though, and more. He's going to set up a manageable 3rd down.
Looks like he picked up about 14 on the play.
Yeah, really nice play. And well designed there again. Thornhill takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out left. He's got a man wide open. And, really another nice pass. I mean, it's not like Thornhill is making like NFL-style throws here where he's thrown it 30 yards, but you can't fault him anywhere. I mean, he's making the throws he needs to make.
That's the point I was getting ready to make. It's not like he's zipping the ball.
Right.
But he's
quick handoff goes up the middle, and Altavista's got Destin Brown, and he's got the first down and more. It was almost a fullback dive type of play there. Brown was the only back in the backfield, but it was such a quick hitting play. Same effect, and it really caught Randolph Henry off guard there, I believe, Oscar.
That's a 15-yard gain. It puts him at the 16-yard line.
Another big gain for Altavista there. That was Destin Brown. Like I said earlier, a lot of different ball carriers, a lot of different receivers. Altavista leads 30-7. 105.5 KD Country, 50th year of high school sports. And if this opener is any indication, it's going to be a good one for the Colonels. 5 wide receivers now for Juan Thornhill. He's got an empty backfield. He's going to roll right. He's got plenty of time in blocking. He'll go to the end zone. It got tipped away there. He was looking for Malback, and a nice defensive play by number 7, Brandon Ghostin, to get a hand on it.
And we talked about Thornhill not really zipping the ball. He rolled out to the right. He threw that one on a line. Good coverage by Randolph Henry on the play. He had an opening for Dimitri, but wasn't able to get it to him. Again, nice defensive play by Randolph Henry. But Juan showed some arm strength on that play.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just as we were talking about how he kind of throws the changeup or lobs it in there, he gives you the fastball. And I think Juan's just showing a lot of savvy there. He's just making the throws he needs to make. And he had a lot of time back there, too. We haven't talked about the O-line much, but we're going to credit those guys as the game goes on because they've given Juan really time to do whatever he needs to do. Man in motion's number 21. That's Timron Brown. Brown goes right side. He's looking for the end zone. He'll get to the end zone. Touchdown, Altavista. Brown has another one for the Colonels. 9:05 to go in the second quarter is when it comes, and Altavista's up 36-7. Trying to make it a 30-point lead with the extra point to follow here. They were up 30-0, and then Randolph Henry scored. And I don't think the Colonel players like that much, so they have responded here in force with another touchdown.
Yeah, that drive was all business. It was an 80-yard drive after the touchdown. 7 plays, 80 yards, and another Colonel touchdown.
Yeah, and that was a more of a methodical football drive that we're used to. The other scoring drives were 2 and 3 plays. This one, 7 plays, like you said. They went 80 yards. And so many different Colonels getting the football on that drive. You can't key on any one guy. Walker Allen back to kick. Kick is up. He's got another one. He's been perfect so far here tonight. And really you can't say that the Colonels have been much less than perfect. 37-7 they lead. We'll take another timeout. Altavista up big early in the second quarter here on WKDE. Back here, 105.5 KD Country. Colonels lead 37-7. Oscar Briggs did not win the 50-50 raffle, but you can try again next week, Oscar.
That's right.
And both of these teams will try again next week. We mentioned Altavista at William Campbell next week. Randolph Henry is home against Chatham next week. And, you know, if things continue the way they're going so far, Altavista obviously would get out of here with a win, and they're going to have some good feelings going into that William Campbell game. Long way to go, of course, but you know, you feel like if you can go into that William Campbell game 1-0, got to give you a little bit of a leg up because the Generals are going to be tough as always.
Yeah, and for this game, looks like Reed is settled in and starting to gain some confidence and get a little bit better feel for what's going on, a little bit better vision in that backfield for Randolph Henry.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just a freshman. Handoff here from Reed. He gives it right up the middle. Don't know if it was Hurt or Pate on the handoff there. Randolph Henry gained good yards, gained about 5 or 6 right up the gut. Altavista's defense, first time they've really had their back to the wall here tonight. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 4 for Randolph Henry. Randolph Henry can get a first down. The first down marker's on about the 1. You would think if they get a first down, they'll be in the end zone as well, but you never know. Reed in the shotgun again, 2 wide receivers on each side. Looks like he's got Pate to his right. Man in motion is Hurt. They're going to go right up to gut. That's not Pate, that's Cook. DJ Cook with the carry. And Cook got close to that first down marker. He gained about a yard or 2. Going to bring up 3rd and 3. Altavista's defense trying to get a big stop here. It didn't allow a first down for a while. But like you said, Reed, just a freshman for Randolph Henry. Looks like he's starting to settle into that quarterback spot a little bit.
And of course, being 3rd down, they've got a little bit. We'll call it a short 3, trailing 37-7 with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. They're 2-down territory.
Absolutely, and you know, a score right here. And if you're Randolph Henry, you feel like you're probably right back in the thick of this thing. Shotgun, snap, ready to come again. Cook is to Reed's right. Man in motion is Hurt. They fake to Hurt. Now Reed goes left side. Reed's got some room. Touchdown, Randolph Henry. Great play right there for the Statesman. Reed is in for 6, and that makes this lead 37-13 now for Altavista Colonels. Extra point to come.
And again, you know, a whole lot of athleticism out of Reed. He had 2 Colonels closing in from him from the right side, had an angle on him, and he was able to elude them and get into the end zone. This kid's going to have a bright future, it looks like, Kyle.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a real headache for a lot of teams they play, not just down the road, but this year as well, because you got to figure he's only going to get better. Looks like Randolph Henry's going to kick again. And, you know, the play is well designed, Oscar. They put that receiver in motion to the right. If you're Altavista, you have to respect that motion. You have to shift over to it a little bit. And then it's basically a variation of the old bootleg with Reed rolling out to the left. Snap is not good. It's high here. Randolph Henry falls on it.
No good.
Doesn't matter. The kick is going to be no good, so that will keep the score 37-13. 4:54 to go here in the Apple Market second quarter. Colonels lead But that lead has been trimmed a little bit. We'll take a timeout, 105.5, Katy Country. Back here from Altavista High School, Colonels up 37-13. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first half, Oscar. And teams were lining up for the kickoff, and both teams lined up on the wrong side. I think maybe they still thought it was the first quarter. That first quarter did take a while.
It really was a long.
But it's not. It's over now. We're in the second quarter.
Nice drive by Randolph Henry. 8 plays, 51 yards, took up 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Of course, 15-yard penalty helped that drive, but 36 yards of that on the ground by Reed. So,
yeah, Reed is really, if you look at all-purpose yards, racked up quite a bit because he had the 83, 82-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and some good yards there on that drive. Reed is definitely the feature guy for Randolph Henry, and you can see why they want the ball in his hands a lot.
And after that last drive, he was getting a little bit of personal attention over there. Looked like he might be a little dinged up.
Yeah, he snuck it in there right inside that left pylon, and when I saw him get up, he didn't spring to life like you normally do when you score a touchdown. He was a little slow to get up. Here's a kick, short, high one towards the left sideline there, and it's going to go out of bounds. Jacob East thought about fielding it, but I think he realized how close he was to the sideline and said, let's just let it go out of bounds here, and you can take it on the 35, which is what Altavista will do.
It was a smart play. He was right at the 25-yard line, and he had the opportunity to field it, but discretion, better part of valor, and he let it go out, and they'll take the ball at the 35-yard line.
Right. Randolph Henry, looked like they tried to do the old pooch kick there. You kick it about 15, 20 yards, but I think the kicker got a little bit too much of it and went out of bounds. Not bad starting field position for Altavista. Juan Thornhill will be in the shotgun again. Got 2 receivers on each side. Now he's got really 3 receivers on that left side. He's got an empty backfield again. Man in motion is Malbec. They fake to him, and Thornhill goes right hash mark. Now he's gone. Got a nice block from East, and he's got a lot of room up the right sideline. He's got a couple Randolph Henry defenders to beat. He could not beat them all, but a nice big gain for Juan Thornhill. I'm telling you.
And you called the play right. He got a great block from East that was able to really spring him for the extra yardage.
Yeah, and both teams have been running that jet sweep play there where you put a slot guy in motion. You can either give it to him or fake it to him. And again, when that receiver goes in motion to the left, the defense is really forced to pay attention to that, and all of a sudden Thornhill goes right. Again, works out like a bootleg play, and for Altavista it worked perfectly. It is number 74, William Martin, at that right tackle. I'm telling you, Oscar, they've run to his side a lot and with great success. Snap goes back to Thornhill. He's going to give it up. Moon going to the left side. He's got some nice blocking out there and some room to work with. Gained about 14 yards before he's finally brought down. He's got it around the Altavista 6-yard line, Oscar. Excuse me, the Randolph Henry 6-yard line. Altavista looking to go in again.
So back-to-back, a 35 and a 24-yard run from the Colonels. And both times that Randolph Henry's gotten in the end zone, the Colonels have responded quickly.
Yeah, Altavista really running the ball at will here. And I said they had a lot of success on the right side. Left side didn't look bad there either.
No, and Clydell showed a lot of maturity in that. He waited, let his blocks get set.
Yeah.
Didn't try to hit the hole too quickly. And nice play.
Absolutely. Kind of slow played that one. Left tackle is number 72, Clay Teagard. Nice block there. Thornhill fakes inside to Moon, keeps it himself. He goes right up the gut. Maybe got 1 or 2 there. Tough yards inside, but a gain nonetheless. Altavista on that left hash mark there. They did get it to about the 5-yard line, so it'll be second goal. 3:35 to go in the first half. Altavista leads 37-13. Destin Brown going to run a play in there. Number 12, Cody Andrews, checks out.
And Demetrius Johnson in as well for the Colonels.
Altavista did go under center near the goal line earlier in the first quarter there. They're in a shotgun here. 2 backs with Thornhill. That's Moon. Moon's got a nice lead block, and he's close to pay dirt. Looks like he might have got stopped on about the 1. Destin Brown was trying to lead him into the end zone there, and he had room. Give Statesman defenders a lot of credit for closing quickly, though.
Looks like they're going to call that down at the 2-yard line.
I thought he got more than that. I thought he was inside the 1 there.
I did too, Kyle.
Altavista, 3rd down, 3rd and 2, 3rd and goal. And you would think if they didn't get it here, they'd be inclined to go for it. But I'll tell you, with a kicker like Walker Allen, it's not much more than an extra point, maybe less than an extra point. Altavista under center in that I formation again, 1 tight end, 2 receivers. Thornhill gets the ball to Moon on the tailback lead, and Moon is in off right tackle again. Another touchdown for Altavista, another one for Moon. That makes it a 43-13 Altavista lead. They'll trot Walker Allen out again for another extra point.
And if you're looking for negatives on the Colonels, which is kind of hard to do tonight, that's the second time that the center stepped back, and there's been he's gotten on top of Juan's foot as Juan's tried to get away from center. So that may be something that they'll need to work on as they move forward out of tonight's game.
Juan got a little tripped up there on the snap, but he still managed to get it to Moon. Kick up. Randolph Henry got close to blocking that one, but to no avail. It's another good extra point there. Altavista now leads 44-13. Just over 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Another timeout. Colonels on top, 44-13 on 105.5 KD Country. 2 minutes and 18 seconds remain in this second quarter, the Apple Market second quarter. Colonels on top, Oscar, 44-13. It's been all Colonels all the time. Scoring has been early and often here. Randolph Henry has gotten 2 touchdowns, both from Joseph Reed. One was the long kickoff run back, and one he scored about a 4-yard quarterback keeper. But other than that, the Colonels have really been dominant here tonight. Walker Allen to kick off again. Kick is a little bit short one. Fielded on the 25-yard line by Randolph Henry. That's number 12, Damian Dixon, and he is run down by Timron Brown. Not much of a return there, maybe 6 or 7 yards. Brown was really giving chase in a hurry.
And on that drive, after the kickoff that went out of bounds, 65 yards in 5 plays, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So, again, the Colonels are striking quickly and often.
Absolutely. You can't it's really hard to find anything that Altavista's offense has done wrong so far here tonight, Oscar, other than, like you said, maybe Juan not getting out from under center clean and a hold here or there. But, boy, this has been a fun one to watch so far here early, especially if you're a Colonels fan. 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Randolph Henry, 1st and 10. There's the pass from Reed. It's into the hands of number 10, DeJour Davis. And no good. So I'll bring up 2nd and 10. Nice defense there from the Colonels. They were applying a lot of heat to Reed again.
And he looked okay. He looked pretty mobile on that play. I didn't see anything that really stood out.
Well, and the pass got to his intended target. It was maybe a little high. Didn't make it easy for Davis, but I think if you're a quarterback, you think he should have pulled it in. If you're a receiver, you say he should have made a better pass.
Well, that's right. Now just watch him come back from getting the call, and he's got a little bit of altered gait now, so he's dinged up.
Shotgun snap to come again for Randolph Henry. 2 receivers on each side. One of them's going to go in motion now. There's the give to Cook up the middle. Right hash mark. He gets brought down, but not after gaining, not until he gained about 4 yards there. Call it 4.5 or 5 probably. Nice run there from DJ Cook. That'll set up another 3rd down. 3rd and 5 here for the Statesman. Now under 2 minutes to go in the half. Colonels on top, 44-13. They've been up big all night. They got out to a 30-0 lead. Randolph Henry cut that down to 30-7. 3rd down on the way. Altavista's defense has been pretty good on 3rd down so far here tonight. Reed to pass. He's got a completion well short of the 1st down, though. He gained about 2. The pass was to DeJour Davis again over there on that left side from his wide out spot, but he's short. Now you got about a 4th and 2.5, 4th and 3, Oscar. Now here's a situation where Randolph Henry could go for it, especially considering their punting problems earlier. They had the safety and then the block punt before that.
As approaching the 1 minute, mark, I would think you're right. I would think they would have to go for it.
And that's been so long ago, we didn't really talk about that. I mean, we've talked about Altavista's offense and defense a lot, but special teams hadn't been shabby either.
No.
The blocked punt, and then basically you can say they forced the safety on the punt attempt. Randolph Henry will go for it here. 4th and a long 2. Man in motion is Dixon. Snap goes down. They gave it to Cook. He's got the first down and about a yard extra. Nice play right there from Randolph Henry. Give them a first down. Keeps the chains moving. We're down to 38.5 seconds left. Randolph Henry has 2 timeouts left. I believe Altavista has 2. I think they took 1, didn't they?
They've taken 1.
Yeah.
We ask you to remain in the seats and support the
1st and 10, Randolph Henry just past the 45-yard line.
And no urgency on Randolph. And this may be the last play of the half.
It may be. Maybe if they get a gain here, Coach Freeland would call a timeout. We'll see. Shotgun snap. Reed was back to pass. Now he's going to take off with a run. He's got some yards, and he's got a little space now. Shrugs off a couple tacklers. Shrugs off another tackler. Reed is still on his feet, but the ball is lost. Ball came out after Reed gained about 20 yards. I don't know who came away with it. There's 4 seconds to go in the half, and they're going to say Altavista football. Nice job there by Altavista recovering because they missed some tackles on Reed early there, and a good job to strip it away from him.
Well, gain of 25 on the play. There's 4 seconds left. Gain of 25. Reed showed strength, balance, a couple of stiff arms.
Yeah.
A couple of players had him wrapped up, but he was able to get away from him due to his strength.
Yeah, he shrugged off a couple Altavista guys like they weren't even there. And Colonel's really fortunate there because that's a situation where Randolph Henry gets the big gain. Maybe then you do call the timeout and take a shot at the end zone. 4 seconds to go in the half, and it looks like Altavista is going to take a knee. They do. That will run out the first half clock. And they'll go into the locker room with a big lead, 44-13. We'll be back. Subway halftime show on the way here. Colonel's up big on 105.5 KD Country. Subway halftime show, 105.5 KD Country. Kyle Haney, Oscar Briggs, 50th year of high school sports here on WKDE. Oscar, and if you're an Altavista fan, couldn't ask for a much better start than this. They lead 44-13.
No, and pretty impressive on both sides of the ball from a statistical perspective. Altavista 169 yards on the ground in the first half, 87 through the air, total of 256 yards. Randolph 70 yards total. Of course, they had 77 in the second quarter as they only had -7 in the first quarter. 2 yards passing, total of 72 yards. If there's a fault with Altavista that second quarter, they had 40 yards of penalty. They had 2 15-yarders and a 10-yarder. So that certainly didn't help things at all. But 51 penalty yards for the Colonels and 31 for Randolph Henry.
Yeah, statistically, I mean, those are just some really good numbers for Altavista. And you know, the other impressive thing was it's spread around amongst so many people. We've talked about that a lot tonight. I mean, so many guys are doing damage.
Well, and they did a good job of hanging on to the ball. No turnovers for the Colonels.
Absolutely. And I really can't, think of any time where maybe a ball was loose or looked like it was loose. You know, a lot of times you'll have something that you fall on, or maybe you fumble it as you're going out of bounds or something, but not even any of those. I mean, just really solid performance offensively for Altavista.
And again, we've got young players at the skills positions that don't have a lot of time in them, and to go through the first half of the first game with no turnovers, I think is a big credit to those kids.
Absolutely, I agree. And guys that we've mentioned a little bit, but probably not enough, that offensive line is really paving the way. I mean, I remember specifically Martin over there at right tackle, Teagardens at left tackle. The 3 in the middle of that sandwich ain't playing bad, though, either. Alex Thurman, Casey McLeese, and Dante Poindexter. May have been another guy or two off the bench mixed in there as well, but that O-line, you haven't seen very many statesmen in Altavista's backfield, that's for sure.
No, and you've shown a lot of maturity from the running backs. They've waited to pick their holes.
Yeah.
Good job there. On the defensive side of the ball, we've called Brendan Patrick's name several times.
Yeah.
Along with Johnson. So
yeah, Patrick had the big stop there, really, that set up that safety. That 10-yard loss that he sacked Reed for in the first quarter there. that was big. We didn't even talk about the block punt and the safety. I mean, it's been a lot going on for Altavista.
Yeah, there has, and one name we called early early in the second quarter was Jacob East on that big block that sprung water for that long run. So, a big team contribution for all the Colonels tonight.
Well, and that's what you need in order to be a successful team. I mean, let's face it, pretty much every team's got 2-3 really good athletes that can do damage. The teams that are going to win ball games are the guys that are playing together and working as a unit. In all three phases of the game, and I think Altavista's done that so far here tonight. That being said, Randolph Henry's had their bright moments, and again, in the crazier things have happened line. I mean, I know they're down 44-13 here, but I don't expect Randolph Henry to give up the fight. From what I know about Coach Freeland, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, and one of the things that you've got to be aware of is with the VHS rules, we're 44-13 is a 31-point lead. I'm with that Hargrave, so you can't expect it so much.
Math is never my strong suit either.
So you got a 31-point lead. If it gets to 35, you got the running clock.
Right, and that's something. When you get behind that 8 ball and the clock is running, then I don't know if anybody's ever had gone down 35 and had the running clock imposed and then come back and won. I say that, I'm sure it's happened somewhere, but anyway, point is, Coach Freeland and the Statesmen don't want that to happen. So they're going to try their hardest here. And, we've seen how explosive Joseph Reed is at the quarterback in the kick returner spot. So, Randolph Henry can score at any time, too. And Altavista hasn't forgotten that either. Coach Sharness is really imploring his guys in the locker room to continue to play hard and expect a tough second half.
He's actually had him in the locker room a little bit longer.
Yeah.
They went through the whole half period. Randolph Henry was back, and the referees have just extended halftime by 3 minutes to allow the Colonels time to warm up as they're just returning to the field.
Yeah, it's a Subway halftime show. Colonels on top, 44-13. I remember Subway Eat Fresh locations, Town and Country Shopping Center. I keep saying that. They haven't been in the Town and Country Shopping Center for a while. Nothing against the Town and Country Shopping Center, but you can't go there to go Subway anymore. You got to go Main Street, right there in the what's that shopping center called, Oscar?
I have no idea.
I know. Robert Duff is going to kill me now. I'm butchering his establishment. Subway Eat Fresh or Walmart Clarion Road now to Vista.
But Robert took over ownership of those Subways, and he's been heavily involved in the community. We appreciate him sponsoring the Colonel Sports. I know he's involved in the community and Rotary and a lot of other things. Been an integral part of the community for a long time at the Y, and now
absolutely, yeah.
With Subway, he's really doing a great job with
one thing he's going to hate me for mentioning, though, is the fact that his son is already better than him in golf. I know you're a golfer.
Yeah, well, they're not. There aren't many people that aren't better than Robert.
Well, okay, all right, that's valid. It's a Subway halftime show. If you're listening to us online, kdcountry.com, that, of course, is brought to you by Walmart as well. Games are going to be posted on YouTube if you're listening there after the fact. That's brought to you by Fellers. And, of course, we'll thank our other sponsors. You hear their advertisements as the game goes on. We'll thank them again later. Altavista up 44-13. Colonels on the road next week. Not a long road trip, though, Oscar. They're going to go to William Campbell, and we might get to talk about that more in the second half.
And just got a report from the Gretna score on the road at Essex. Gretna 3, Essex 41.
Wow. That's a little shocking, in my opinion.
And Gretna's facing a similar situation. They're starting a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. So going to Essex, who's always figured in the state championship
Absolutely.
race.
Yeah, Essex is a great program there, and you just don't figure a Gretna team to be down that, not in this century anyway, be down that much. Bob Alvis has supplied me with a score. Dan River down 9-6 at half against Tunstall. Dogwood District there. Other Dogwood District games. Bluestone is at Chatham. Buckingham at Appomattox. Nelson County is at William Monroe. and Rustburg at William Campbell. So that's a good Campbell County rivalry game there. That'd be a good one to be at.
And Rustburg has actually redone their field. Clay Stanley took the opportunity last spring and did the same thing that he did here with the same contractor that they did here, and reseeded it with Bermuda grass. And all reports are that for a first-year field, it's in great shape. So,
well, I'll tell you, if you take a look here at Altavista's field, there's not much you can complain about this track tonight. I mean, it looks great, like you said. I'm sure it plays fast, plays great. No footing issues to speak of, and this turf is very healthy here, much like the Altavista Colonels offense. And they're slated to get the ball back here after the kickoff from Randolph Henry to start the second half. Third quarter underway. It's a short kick. It's going to be down on the 35-yard line. It was a two-hop line drive right there into the hands of, looks like number 8, Brennan Patrick. He fielded the ground ball successfully and fell on it, which was wise because he didn't have much blockers, and Altavista will take over. What about the 35-yard line to start the third quarter?
And that was a squib kick. I'm sure trying to maybe as an onside kick derivative.
Right, yeah. Maybe you don't want to take the full risk of going the onside kick, so you do the squib. Maybe Altavista botches it. They did not. Nice play there by Patrick. Thornhill will initiate the offense from the 35-yard line. Shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. They're on the far hash mark here to start the third quarter. Give is to Moon. Moon's got a lot of room on the right side behind a pulling guard there, and he's going to get the first down and more. Great design play. Moon starts on the right side. They hand it off to him, and normally you think in that shotgun, if the back starts on the right, he's going to go left. He did not. He cut it back to the right and got about a 14, 15-yard gain.
And again, a little bit of hesitation from Clydell as he let the blocks get set up for him, and then he picked his hole. Like what we're seeing out of Clydell early tonight.
Definitely. Moon has done a great job, and I think you mentioned the most important thing, taking care of the football. He's in the backfield again, although split a little further out. Thornhill's going to roll left. Got some time. He's going to throw long. Wow, good-looking pass. It's incomplete. He had Timron Brown on the out route there towards that left sideline, and Timron just could not pull it in. Thornhill maybe just a little bit too much air under it, but really a great-looking pass.
Yeah, actually, Timron switched shoulders he was looking over, and that cost him about half a step. Juan showed some good arm strength on that play.
Really
did.
Of
course, a great design play because he was wide open.
Absolutely, was wide open. Timron ran a great route. Again, blocking superb because, Juan Thornhill had plenty of time back there in the backfield to throw, and he threw a nice spiral there. You got to like to see that even though the pass was incomplete. 2nd and 10. Handoff goes to Moon again. Moon's wrapped up around the line of scrimmage. He's going to fight his way for some yards. I mean, he kept the feet driving there, Oscar.
Yeah, he was wrapped up, and he gained 4 yards after he was wrapped up.
Yeah, and number 71 for Randolph Henry, Jackson Knott, listed at 6'1", 303 pounds. He had his paws on Moon, so if he kept trucking through that. Got some leg drive going on there.
I was down on the field before the game, and he is every bit of that.
That's impressive. He's playing that nose guard spot in that 3-5 defense, 3-3 stack, whatever you want to call it, for Randolph Henry, and he's a big dude. Shotgun goes to Thornhill. He's looking on the slant. He had number 6, Demetrius Johnson, but Johnson could not hold on. He had some pressure coming from some Randolph Henry defenders.
Yeah, Demetrius, he hit him right in the numbers. Demetrius saw somebody closing on him, and I think he took his eyes off the ball looking for the defender.
Again, really can't fault Thornhill very much on the pass right there, and the offensive line as well. They gave Juan adequate time. Just couldn't pull it in. So Altavista's going to trot out the punt team for the first time tonight, Oscar. About 4th and 6. Andrews is back deep to punt for Altavista.
First punt of the game for the Colonels.
Yep. About 13 yards deep in the punt formation. Long snap on the way. It gets there good. He's got plenty of time. Kick is away, and it's a pretty good one. Got some height to it. Randolph Henry looks like they want to field it. They do. It's number 8. They had 2 return guys back there. One guy got away from it, and number 8, Aaron Brinkley, fielded it. He gained about 5, got it to about the 20.
And Kyle one of the players back called for a fair catch.
Right.
The other player grabbed the ball and took off and running, and that's a no-no.
That's generally a no-no. It was kind of confusing there. It wasn't the best fair catch signal I've ever seen, so maybe the official was confused too. But you're right, he was waving his arm. I don't think he was blocking the sun like an outfielder, that's for sure. Anyway, Randolph Henry takes over, got a decent return out of it. They're going to start on about their own 20. Reed will take the shotgun snap. He's got a man in motion. That's number 83, Tyler Brown. And that play was blown up from the start. Timron Brown in the backfield about as fast as that football was.
Yeah, he was. And he went and he hit him hard and hit him high.
Right. Timron really timed up that snap, and he was never touched. It's going to go for about a 3-yard loss.
Last year we had the fortunes of having Rick Adams, and Rick probably anticipation-wise, reading the snap and getting into the backfield was as good as we've had in a while at Altavista, and Timron showed some shades of that there.
Well, that's when you're talking about Rick, one of the best natural athletes you're ever going to find. Reed is scrambling now. He looked like he wanted to pass. He's going to try the left side. He's hit. Ball is loose, and it's free. Altavista have it. Altavista's going to return it. 5, touchdown. Colonels are in again. They've got a score on defense.
Looked like that was Jacob Hawkins.
It's number 5, Jacob Hawkins, on the fumble recovery. And, boy, there were 3 or 4 Colonels around there. It was hard to tell. But Hawkins came out of there with it. Really a scoop and score type of play. Picked it up on about the 15 and took it to 15 yards, and he had some blockers to carry him in there. Extra point team not out on the field yet. You got a penalty on Randolph Henry. That'll be declined, obviously. Touchdown will stand. Altavista's got 50. They lead 50-30. And Altavista will try the extra point again. Walker Allen coming back out on the field. He's been perfect so far here tonight. And Altavista's got a score in really every phase of the game now, Oscar.
And like you said, you got to be wondering about Allen's leg fatigue at this point.
9:41 to go in the Apple Market third quarter here. Altavista up 51-13. Kick up. Altavista's now up 51-13. Extra point is good. We'll take another timeout here. Colonels lead big, 51-13 on 105.5 KD Country. Colonels score again, Oscar. This time it's on defense. They're up 51-13. Fumble got knocked loose. Jacob Hawkins recovered, took it 15 yards to the end zone for Altavista.
And that was just a situation where Reed was trying to get a little bit more than what he had, and somebody put a hit and he lost the ball.
Yeah, Altavista's done a nice job. They've stripped a few balls here tonight, and they've come away with some fumbles. They had the one fumble recovery there to end the first half, and then one here to score. Kickoff is away from Walker Allen. Randolph Henry returning. Looks like Rocky Hurt got back to about the 25-yard line. Good coverage there by Altavista.
And, we talk about Rocky Hurt as one of the all football names. We got Timron Brown for the Colonels. So if you talk about Tim Brown, that's a pretty good football name, too.
Absolutely. That's pretty good company. And then, Tim Brown and Jerry Rice played together, of course. And, one Jerry Rice that has been known to float around these Altavista parts. So, I think you get those two on either side. You got 2 pretty good targets to throw to. Man in motion here for Randolph Henry. Handoff goes to the running back. Believe that's DJ Cook. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Good stop there by Altavista again. Looked like Demetrius Johnson and Destin Brown in to make the initial hit anyway.
Of course, as we mentioned earlier, VHSL rules, 35-point lead in the second half, and you get into a running clock. And first downs, incompletions, just about all of it, the clock continues to run.
Yeah, only time it really stops is when coaches call timeout, officials timeout, obviously, and then touchdowns, it stops. But other than that, you're right. It's pretty much running all the time. Handoff here. It's number 83, Tyler Brown, who was in motion. He's got some room. He's up the middle. One guy to beat for Altavista. He could not beat him. Tackle is made there at about the 50-yard line by number 15, Donovan Montague. Good stop there by Montague from his cornerback spot. But Brown with a nice gain there on the wide receiver sweep.
And Brown lowered his shoulder and tried to deliver a little punishment on that. But Montague, nice tackle in the open field.
Yep.
Nice design play by Randolph Henry.
It was, and they've tried that wide receiver sweep some with varying degrees of success. And you know, early in this game, early in the season, might not get into the full playbook sometimes. So we've seen a lot of the same plays from both. Cook goes right up the middle on the handoff, gains about 10. I believe they're going to give him the first down. It was 1st and 10 for Randolph Henry. Going to mark him just short. 2nd and 1, Randolph Henry. 6:45 to go in the third quarter. Altavista up 51-13. Randolph Henry moving the ball here on offense, though, Oscar.
And Reed's limp's getting a little bit more prominent.
Right.
And you're seeing Coach Sharness is actually subbing in. It's not wholesale changes. He's got 2 or 3 people that hadn't played in the first half. They're in the game now.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix and match going right now. High snap. Reed handles it, gives it to Cook. Cook might have got the first down. He had some room over there to the right side. The high snap kind of threw the timing off, though. But I think Cook did get the first down. He's close. Officials may just eyeball this one. Sometimes they'll come out and measure it, but when the score's like this, a lot of times they have a tendency to just to look at it. They do give him the first down. So good run there by Cook.
Nice tackle by Dustin Brown, being able to bring him down.
Yeah, and it was kind of an open field tackle there by Brown as well. And Cook is, they've given the ball to Cook a lot. He's only listed at 173, but he runs hard. It's almost built like a fullback back there in that shotgun style offense.
Yeah, he's 173, but he's 5'8", so you're exactly right. He's got a great fullback build.
Randolph Henry is going to take a timeout to talk things over. They just got themselves a fresh set of downs. And we'll take a timeout as well. Altavista on top, 51-13 on 105.5 KD Country. Third quarter action here on 105.5 KD Country. Kyle Haney, Oscar Briggs. Colonels up 51-13. Randolph Henry putting together a drive here. They'll start with a fresh set of downs on the 39-yard line. Colonel's 39-yard line. Number 83 in motion again. That's Tyler Brown. He goes left side. Not much room this time. He's brought down by some Colonel defenders. Look like Darius Johnson there. Yep. Good play by Johnson in pursuit there from the linebacker spot. That was a play that Randolph Henry gained a lot of yards on the last time they ran it.
It's the first time we've called Darius's name tonight.
Yeah, Darius and Demetrius are hard to tell apart sometimes. They're built virtually the same. They're both just incredible athletes.
Yes, they are.
Man in motion again for Randolph Henry. They give it to him. This time it's number 7. That's Brandon Ghostin. Ghostin got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have got one more. He got run out on that right sideline there. Nice job by Altavista's defense. Clydell Moon was involved. Destin Brown was involved again. Give him about a gain of 2 or 3. Sets up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 for Randolph Henry. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the Apple Market third quarter. 51-13, Altavista in charge.
And again, nice job by the Colonel's defense of stringing that play out and pinning him to the sideline. Was not able to make the cut upfield.
Yeah, I mean, as an offense, Randolph Henry's tried, a little bit of everything. They've tried up the middle, they've tried outside, they've tried off tackle, they've tried to throw, and Altavista's really had an answer for pretty much everything for the most part. Shotgun snap here, Reed looking to pass. He avoids a couple Colonel defenders. Now he's going to take off. Goes down on a feet-first slide. I think he slipped. I don't think it was the old NFL slide to avoid contact. I think he slipped, and you got a Colonel defender down. Reed did a nice job of avoiding the rush in the backfield just to gain a yard or two. It's going to bring up 4th and 8. We're going to have a little bit of a stoppage here while
it's Markel Payne for the Colonels down, and his knee went out kind of funny on him. It was, so you don't want to speculate, but he's in a lot of pain.
Well, he was one of those guys that was in the backfield early, applying some pressure on Reed, and Reed made him miss. And I think when Payne tried to change directions, something wasn't right. It's the Apple Market third quarter here on 105.5 KD Country. If you're listening online at kdcountry.com, brought to you by Walmart, Clarion Road in Altavista. Of course, you can get to all that from the regular KD Country website or on Facebook. You know, you got to get on that KD Country website, though, Oscar. You know that. You got the Bob Alva Sports Buffet on there. You got a lot of, giveaways and that kind of things. And, of course, you can always hear the great country music. And when we're on, you can hear us there as well.
That's right. And like you said, you stay abreast of any coming concerts and great giveaways that KD continues to do, and support the community. You can find out a lot of community events that are going on. I don't see how you can go from day to day and not listen.
Well, I can't, but I agree with you. I don't see how you could. In our 50th year of broadcasting high school sports, that's exciting as well. Let's look ahead at this schedule a little bit while we've got a minute. We've talked about the William Campbell game next week. Altavista played them twice last year and lost both games. Tight battles, though.
Both were very good ball games.
Right.
So you don't know, and you never know against Altavista William Campbell anyway.
Right. You've got the rivalry aspect. You've got the fact that both teams, are, year in, year out going to provide a good quality ball club. Markel Payne on his feet now, by the way, and walking off under his own power, so that's a great sign. But, yeah, I mean, looking forward to that game next week in Naruna. And I know it's not a long drive, but I don't know. To me, Naruna's not the easiest place in the world to play, You'd rather be playing at home anyway. Maybe the home field advantage doesn't matter that much, but I think you'd rather be playing at home. So that's going to make it tougher for Altavista as well. 4th down on the way here. Randolph Henry's going to go for it. They're down 51-13. Latter stages of the third quarter. Shotgun snap goes to Reed. Quick pass outside, and the receiver is met quickly by number 4, Jacob East. East was all over that. The pass was complete to Brinkley, but he didn't gain a yard. East was Johnny on the spot there.
The line of scrimmage was at the 37 and actually lost almost 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, they tried the quick little spot pass out there to the right side here. And a lot of times that play will work for you, but East was having none of that. He was all over it. It was a high percentage pass, but they didn't gain the yards necessary to get a fresh set of downs. So, Colonel football.
And this is only the Colonel's second possession of the second half. 2:45 remaining, 51-13 lead for the Colonels.
Altavista going to mix it up a little bit here. 2 tight ends, 3 backs in the backfield with Thornhill. The old full house, tailback dive, and it's number 2, Moon, up the gut. He's got some room. He went to the middle, now he's on the left sideline, 25-20, and he is brought down by Aaron Brinkley. Touchdown saving tackle by Brinkley, but not after Moon racked off big chunks of yards.
50-yard gain for Clydell on that play. And again, he's just showing so much maturity. He's really letting his blocks get set.
Yes.
I can't stress that enough. How good that looks. He's picking his hole. Got great acceleration.
Yeah, it was really an impressive job there by Moon. I mean, the play initially started off, behind right tackle there, William Martin again from that full house look. And then Moon, as soon as he got past the line of scrimmage, he saw a lot of daylight to his left and took advantage of it. Looks like you got number 15, Donovan Montague, under center now. He gives the handoff. Off right side again. Devontae Clark took the carry, and he gained about 4 or 5. Another productive play there from the Colonels.
Of course, Devon is second on the depth chart. 3-way battle for quarterback early this year, and Devon came out number 2.
I formation again. Handoff again goes up the middle to Devontae Clark. He got less this time, but still probably gained a yard after the progress. He got thrown back in the backfield there, but his forward progress was stopped. They just say he got back to the line of scrimmage. 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's going to set up about 3rd and 5. Colonels up 51-13. And looking to score again. They're on a Randolph Henry 10-yard line. Got to get this first down here, though, on about a 3rd and 5 or a 3rd and 6. Handoff again goes to Clark. Clark's got some room, bounces a couple tackles. Now he's stacked up. He may have gained 1 or 2, but he didn't get to the first down marker. He's going to set up a 4th down. Bunch of statesmen in on the tackle there.
They're going to mark it at the, looks like 6-yard line. Call it it's almost 2 yards to go.
Yep. 4th and a long one, but it'll have to wait till we come back for the fourth quarter, as Altavista is going to let the clock run out in the third quarter. They lead 51-13. We'll be back with the final quarter here on 105.5 KD Country. Fourth quarter getting ready to start here. 12 minutes of football left on 105.5 KD Country. Colonels up 51-13. Been in charge all night, Oscar.
Yeah, and stats for that quarter are not that impressive. Altavista had 77 yards on the ground, none's passing, and 34 yards on the ground for Randolph Henry. So
yeah.
You get into that running clock, and
yes.
It really cuts into to the stats.
It does. Altavista's got a 4th down coming up here. 4th and a long one from the Randolph Henry 5-yard line. They can get this. You feel like they'd have a good chance at scoring. I formation. Montague gives it up again. First back through, it's Clark. Clark got the first down on the quick hitter there.
First down for the Colonels.
And that'll keep the chains moving for Altavista. Sets up a 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line. 11:31 to go in the game. Colonels will be at William Campbell next week. That game will be on 105.5 KD Country, of course. If we have this much offense next week, Oscar, we might need to sign up for overtime or something. Handoff here for the Colonels. Ball carriers met in the backfield. That is Jacob East, I believe. No, that's Jacob Hawkins, I think, isn't it?
Jacob Hawkins.
Okay. Had the first name right. East is number 4, Hawkins is number 5. Sometimes those numbers kind of look similar, especially when you put shoulder pads on.
And especially when you Jacob.
Yeah. The names are the same. The other problem was for Altavista and Jacob Hawkins that he was smothered by 2 or 3 Randolph Henry defenders. That makes it hard to read the number 2. He's still the tailback here, though. They fake to him. They give it to the first back through. And that's Devontae Clark. Clark gains 2 or 3, gets it back to where they started this series of downs from. That makes it 3rd and goal. 10:20 to go in the ball game. Colonels up 51-13. They've been going from the I formation a little bit more here, Oscar, since Thornhill's been out.
And Randolph Henry using this opportunity as well to get some experience for some players that didn't play in the first half as well. So
right. And, neither of these two teams really have a whole lot of guys on the roster, so it's not necessarily a first string, second string, third string. I mean, it's one of those deals where a lot of guys are going to see action. Give was to Hawkins again. He didn't get much. He didn't get past the line of scrimmage. He may have lost the football. He did. Referees are signaling that it's Randolph Henry football. Lost it as he was going down there. And wasn't much excitement out of Randolph Henry. It was hard to tell that they got the football back, but they did. They'll take over from their own 5-yard line here.
As we talk about football at this level in the single A, Altavista has maybe 15 to 17 extra players, and same thing for Randolph Henry. They don't, not a lot of depth, and a lot of kids going both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's it's one of those things where when you go and get a guy off the bench, it's not necessarily a slap in your face to say you're not starting, because you're not that far away from the field. One injury here, one injury there. All of a sudden your third string guy's your first string guy. And your backups are probably backups in multiple positions too.
Well, that's right.
Shotgun formation here for the Statesmen. They put a man in motion going right. Handoff is a keeper. There was no handoff. The quarterback kept it, and he'll be brought down for a loss of 1 or 2. Reed is not taking the snaps anymore. That's number 7, Brandon Ghostin. And there's a perfect example. I mean, Ghostin was starting at one of the wide receiver spots, and now he's in there playing quarterback. Didn't get much love from the Colonel defenders there. Sets up a 2nd and 13 for Randolph Henry.
And they're in dangerous territory again. All their snaps have been shotgun as well, so
yep.
Especially with a new quarterback in.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the shotgun formation is putting that ball in the air one extra time. Sometimes that spells disaster. Ghostin ready to take that shotgun snap. He does. Fakes the handoff. Now he goes off right tackle. He's got some yards there. He's got a couple extra yards now. It looked like he was going to gain about 5, but he shifted by a couple tacklers and gained about 12. Almost got it to that first down marker. I think it's going to set up about a 3rd and 1, though.
Yeah, he's out to the 16-yard line, so a nice run by Ghostin.
They actually gave him the first down, Oscar. Said he gained 13. Again, play fake there to the running back. Then he went off right tackle, right up that right hash mark there.
And it was close to the first down, but again, running clock, they didn't even measure.
Right. I mean, you know, a lot of times I think you can probably eyeball anyway. They measure a lot of times just to appease the coach. Shotgun snap. Ghostin does hand this one off. Carries out a nice fake after the fact. The ball is given to number 30, Rocky Hurt.
That's number 30, Rocky Hurt.
And Hurt gained about 6 or 7. Timron Brown on the tackle. It's going to set up about a 2nd and 3 for the Statesmen.
Nice gain of 7.
Absolutely. They've shown, you know, a lot of poise getting out of the shadow of their own goalpost there. And, you know, you think a lot of times when you're down 51-13, not a lot to play for. But, you know, Randolph Henry's still playing hard. We expected that. Colonel's defense has been stingy all night. They allowed the 1 touchdown. Randolph Henry also scored on a kickoff return. 2nd down on the way. Man in motion. Ghostin's going to keep it himself. Don't know if that was by design or not. 83 looked like he wanted to take the handoff. Ghostin didn't get it to him, though, and Ghostin did not get back to the line of scrimmage either. Loss of about 1. That'll set up 3rd down. 3rd and about 3 for the Statesmen. They trail 51-13. Altavista. Altavista been on top all game. They went up 30-0 in the first quarter. And they slowed down a little bit, Oscar, but not much.
Yeah, and 5:42, 51-13. Colonels continue to lead. Like you said, things have slowed down a little bit.
Shotgun snap. Handoff goes to Rocky Hurt. Rocky Hurt's got the first down and more in between right hash mark and right sideline, right on the numbers there for the Statesmen near their bench. Gained about, call it 7 or 8. Either way, it was enough to move the chains, and he gets the ball to about the 35-yard line.
And, you know, you're seeing some positive things out of Randolph Henry. Of course, Reed looked good early. Rocky Hurt showing a lot of potential at that fullback-type running position.
Yep.
So they're going to cause some problems in the district.
I agree wholeheartedly. Shotgun snap. Hurt was right behind the quarterback. A little bit of a botched handoff there, but it didn't matter to Ghostin. He took off and gained about 3 or 4. And, you know, we talk about the heart Randolph Henry showing how they continue to play hard. And you know, Coach Freeland, this is not his first rodeo. He's been around for a while. You mentioned Hargrave. He was at Hargrave when they were starting that PG program. And
that's right.
Coach Torrey Holt, so he's got that feather in his cap. He knows good football. He knows what it takes, and he's a good motivator. He's not going to let his guys lay down just because they're down 51-13.
You've also got Todd Abel on the sideline,
right,
who we know very well. And there's no quit in Todd as well.
No. Well, if you got the last name Abel, there's probably going to be a good coach at something.
That's right.
Man in motion. Handoff goes to, was it 83 again? Tyler Brown? No, it was 85. There's no 85 on there. It could have been 85. He is wearing 85, but there's no 85 on the jersey, Oscar. That would just burn Bob Alvis up when that happens. He just cannot stand that.
No, but yeah, we don't have any idea.
Well, I'm guessing 85 was a backup jersey Randolph Henry brought, or one of them, and somebody forgot their jersey, so they're wearing that now. 3rd and 10 either way. We do know that. Randolph Henry will try and pick up another first down here.
But you did do a good job, Bob. I was afraid we weren't going to get the uniform description in. So.
I had to get that in. Bob might be listening, or he might be listening on YouTube later. Brought to you by Feller Chevrolet. Ghostin takes off. He's got Hurt blocking for him in front. Altavista is there to run him down. 52, Dante Poindexter in on the stop. He had some friends with him, though, but it looked like Poindexter was the one that brought him down. Under 3 minutes to go now in the ball game. Colonel's still up 51-13. It's the Apple Market fourth quarter. Of course, this precedes the Subway postgame show. Hope you stick around for that.
You know, the Colonels have only had 3 possessions in the second half.
That's incredible. Well, they scored once on defense.
That's right.
What'd they do on the 3 possessions on offense? They punted away once.
They punted.
Remember that.
Let me pull the third
scored once and fumbled. Okay. Well, I'm sure that's something that Coach Sharness will talk about. You never like to fumble. You never like to get careless with that football here. Randolph Henry's taking some time. Don't know if they're going to call a timeout or not. They're going to bring the punt team out. They took the delay of game. It was fourth and 8. I don't know if it was an issue where they didn't get the play they wanted or they just want to let the clock run down a little bit more. But either way, it's going to make it 4th and about 12 now. They've got the punt formation out there. Thurston Pate looks like he's back to kick. Altavista does not have anybody back deep to return. Kick was almost blocked again. That was Hawkins giving chase. And not a bad kick. It'll be down on the 40. So Altavista will take over there. Just over a minute 30 to go. Colonel's lead big, 51-13. Probably see a knee here. With the running clock, it might only take 1, might take 2.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they do anything. In fact, Coach Sharness is talking to Montague now, and I think that's exactly the instruction he was giving him.
I mean, it's a situation where, some coaches would say, the other guys deserve a chance to score 2. Let's run it 1 or 2 times. I mean, obviously you're not going to throw deep here, but I think some people would say a run is acceptable. Montague back in under center. Well, I don't know if he's going to be under center. I assume he's going to be under center. He is, and they're in the kneel formation. No, they could hand it off, couldn't they? Split backs now. Montague does kneel. They changed up the formation just to fool us a little bit. Took the knee with about 43 seconds, so we'll see if they make him run another play or not. Sometimes the officials will just sort of ignore that play clock. And
I would be surprised if that's not what they do here.
It looked like he just started the play clock there with 30 seconds, so that should be enough to run it out. Fantastic win here on opening night for the Altavista Colonels. They're going to win this thing 51-13. It looks like they are going to line up again and take one more knee to wrap it up. But just can't think of a better way to open the season, Oscar.
Well, it is a great start for the Colonels, and I think that's been one of the keys to the success for the Colonels over the last few years, is they've been able to get off to some good starts and get some solid wins and gain the kids' confidence, and been able to carry that over in the district.
Clock finally does run out. Colonels win 51-13. We'll be back to wrap it all up on the Subway postgame show on 105.5 KD Country. Colonels win 51-13. We're here on the Subway post-game show. Subway Eat Fresh 105.5 KD Country, or kdcountry.com is where you're hearing us, or perhaps on YouTube. That's brought to you by Feller Chevrolet. Of course, kdcountry.com. Streaming audio is brought to you by Walmart. Oscar, tonight Altavista just brought it from everywhere.
Yeah, offense, defense. Colonels go to 1-0, and some quick stats. 249 yards on the ground for the Colonels, 87 in the air for a total of 336. Randolph Henry only had a total of 132. A lot of good takeaways for the Colonels. Some opportunities that they need to tighten up on, and we saw some things for Randolph Henry that went well, and some opportunities for them to improve as they look forward to their next game.
Yeah, I think, from the Randolph Henry standpoint, not to harp on it too much, they were still playing hard there, still getting after it. You can tell what an athlete Reed is, the quarterback spot. He also ran back to kickoff. So we mentioned it. It's worth saying again, they're going to be a handful for a lot of people down the road. And I think, maybe there were some question marks about Altavista, but I think Colonels are going to be a handful for a lot of people down the road here, too.
Well, and you always you never know in the Dogwood.
Right.
Dan River losing Trey. They've got some question marks there. They've got some points that they want to prove. Nelson is a team that's on the rise. William Campbell's always tough. Of course, Gretna was losing big early tonight, but Coach Saunders is not going to take that well.
Right.
And they're young at the skill positions as well. So should be an exciting season in the Dogwood this year.
Yeah, Dogwood sports, not just football, but everything. You got your work cut out for you every night. And Coach Sharness knows that, and I'm sure he's mentioning that. He's saying, hey, we played great, but there's some things we need to clean up. I'll tell you, just from our standpoint, though, you're happy to get a win, but to get a 51-13 win, I think you got to be really ecstatic. Maybe you don't show that in front of the kids necessarily, but you got to be really pleased at the performance tonight.
Well, and historically we've seen over the last few years, as the Colonels perform well in the early games, it starts to gain momentum in the community as well.
Sure.
Altavista went through a dry spell where we dropped out of the Dogwood and from football, and now we're seeing some of the effects of the Lynch Station Lizards start to feed some of these players in that have experience. So, again, good opening, solid win for the Colonels.
Absolutely, and I think this is an important year, for Altavista football from the standpoint of you win the state championship, 09, correct?
Yes.
Most of those guys that played on that team, your Ricky Adams, your Gerard Hunts, those guys, most of them are gone now. So, they still had that good vibe from the state championship, and you know what it takes to get there. But now you're starting to break in some new guys. And, I'll tell you, these new guys are showing that they know how to win, they know how to play too. So definitely good signs here in this first game for Altavista. 51-13 is the final score. And touching up on all our other things here on the Subway post-game show, we'll be back next week, of course, at William Campbell. 7 o'clock start time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else we need to mention about that William Campbell game just in preview? I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I am too. And again, it's one of those Campbell County rivalries. And, those are always a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's a non-district game, but, the way the points work, Oscar, they all matter. I mean, it really almost matters the same as a district game, really, because you get the same amount of points. Now, obviously, if you win your district, you're in. But now with the way the playoffs are, you win 5 games, 6 games, you got to feel pretty good about getting in. It's almost kind of like a basketball field now, to where a lot of teams get in, and the team that's playing well at the right time, kind of the way William Campbell was last year with that run they had. Anything can happen.
At 3-7 or something like that to get into the playoffs, and they got hot, and the matchups worked well for them.
Yeah. Well, and 3-7 against the teams they're playing is no slap in the face either, because we already mentioned how good the Dogwood is. I mean, it's not. You can win 3 games and beat 3 pretty good teams, and lose some other close ones.
And 2 of those wins were against Altavista, and with Altavista's record being, right at 500.
Right.
That points-wise, that helped William Campbell.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to that one next week, as I'm sure you are. This one we need to wrap up and put the finishing touches on. We couldn't do it without our fantastic sponsors. We couldn't do it without Eleanor Haney back at home base doing the production. Her and Nick had to do a little tag team operation there tonight with the Hillcats as well. And I'm sure if there was a tag team matchup, they would beat us, Oscar.
No
in a tag
question.
Team
They
matchup.
are top of the field. Couldn't do it without them. Professional.
Unless we can get Bob Alvis to run in with a chair or a table or something.
Or possibly get Dave back up in the booth.
Dave back. Right. We've got to call somebody off the bench to beat those two. But super job by her and both of them tonight. And our sponsors all year, you're going to be hearing about them a lot. But definitely go give them your support and tell them that you're happy that they're sponsoring, or better yet, buy something from them. That'd probably make them really happy. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Of course, Apple Market sponsors all of our quarters, serving you from 3 Altavista area locations. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. They also sponsor our YouTube broadcast, where you're going to be able to find all the games after the fact. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, voted best Mexican restaurant by their customers. English's, your complete home center, authorized Davis paint dealer. Apple Auto Glass and Mirror, Ford Avenue in Lynchburg. Of course, if you listen to us online, or you ever listen online, that's brought to you by Walmart in Altavista on Clarion Road. Save money, live better. Walmart. That's at kdcountry.com. This is the Subway post-game show. We always got to thank them for what they do. And Oscar, I got to thank you especially. We had a good time tonight. We always seem to, and I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Kyle. We have some 3 or 4 basketball games a year, but
right.
Looks like we're lined up for the whole season for football. So.
Yeah, and hopefully more than just the 10 regular season games. If this form Altavista shows tonight holds throughout the course of the year, I think it's going to be a good year for Colonel fans. Big winners here tonight were Altavista, 51-31. On to Naruna next week to face the Generals. Looking forward to that one. We'll return you to the fantastic country music on 105.5 KD Country. Have a good night, everybody.